Yes. What's going on? All right, we got a repeat, man. AT&T is. Where is my book, man? Let me find my book. AT&T continues what it was doing last week. And I don't know that I thought I'd ever see this in my lifetime, but the RSI, actually, it wasn't that long ago it did it again, but it doesn't happen often in this stock. And this is the reason I've been kind of harping on AT&T is this is a beautiful chart, man. There's a lot going on this. We talked about this, was it Friday or Thursday last week? Maybe it was Thursday. Go back and look. I got it saved on YouTube. And I was talking about, man, there's so much going on this chart. Like we've got the stage 4 decline. We got it bottoming. It's a dividend stock. World's in chaos. Like everything that can go wrong is going wrong. And this stock says, nah, I think I'm going to go higher, man. And what's great about this AT&T deal, and by the way, before I forget, man, I made some new versions of the money flow. Same information. It's a different book, different printings, different way of bounding. So I got rid of the spiral. I'm going to try it out. I like it. It's thin. You can put it in a backpack really easy. I like it. If you're a fan of the money flow, get another one. I own like 5, I don't know, maybe 10 copies of Dr. Alexander Elder's book, Trading for a Living. I probably bought 10 of them because I gave away at least 5 of them. I've given away over 700 copies of The Science of Getting Rich. Now, it's out of print and the author doesn't need to get paid so you can get them cheaper. Whenever the author's dead, they come down a little bit. So after I'm dead, you probably get these for free. So we're looking at the S&P 500 is now in a stage 2, what we would call stage 2 if you have the money flow. And you know the money flow is just a fractal pattern of price moving on a chart, man. And this here is just what they call charts, stock charts. And what you're looking at, I use bars. A lot of people use candlesticks. Doesn't matter. It tells you the same information, where the market opens, where it closes, the high and the low. And that's what it's telling you. That's what's going on right here. Right now, the S&P 500 is at 3760, or if you're using the actual S&P 500, I don't know, it's around 3700 and something. This is the SPY. It's an ETF we can use to trade the S&P 500. I want you to notice, and this is important, what's helping AT&T right now is the wind is at its back. And you're like, what do you mean? Look. Right now, see, the S&P 500 is above this green line. Now, this green line there that you see right there, that green line that you see, is super, super important to the concept of the money flow trading system. It's the fucking baseline, dude. If we're going to build a wall, we got to get everything plumb here. It's got to be straight and square. Doorways have to be a particular size. Otherwise, you can't put a door on it, because they make them a standard size for inside doors, outside doors, right? There's a pattern to it. Most things in life, if you observe, there's a repeatable pattern. Meaning, how do you become a good golfer? Well, there's a way to learn the game. There's how do you become a good poker player? There's a pattern to success. How do you become a good real estate agent? How do you become a good marketer? How do you become a good trader? How do you become a good real estate investor? There's a blueprintable pattern. It's a formula. Usually it's a fractal pattern. In the beginning of a lot of people call this concept something by different names. Here's what OGP calls it. A fractal is a never-ending pattern. Fractals are infinitely complex patterns that are self-similar across different scales. They are created by repeating a simple process over and over again in an ongoing feedback loop. That's what Walmart does, by the way. Simplifying everything down to a duplicatable process, a mechanized way, a machine, a conveyor belt, a way of churning out. Go look at McDonald's. Go look at McDonald's. Go look at any good person that makes a lot of money selling something. They got systems in place. They have a fractal pattern, and you could break that pattern down. You could begin to emulate the pattern. You could begin to see it. That's what all these self-help books like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and the science of what, that's what they were trying to tell you, man. It's a goddamn repeatable pattern. If one person can do it, go do what they did. That's what makes the money flow work, man, because it's a basic universal concept, man. Fractal pattern is never-ending pattern. Fractals are infinitely complex. So the money flow is this right here in a diagram form. Right here. This right here, man. This. Stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. The money flow is that, man. But what is that? That's a fractal pattern. And like everything in life, man, times are good, times are bad. You're going to go up, you're going to go down. You're going to party up too much, maybe not enough. Maybe you're working too hard. Maybe, no, you're not. You're not working hard enough. And you kind of swing from this pendulum of a little too much, maybe not enough. And we're always trying to find equilibrium. Well, that's what the stock market's doing. Just like you're trying to do in life. You're trying to find that balance. People tell me all the time, there's a balance, man. Don't work too much. Okay. Don't take too much off. Oh, I know. So what are we doing? Somewhere in that middle, man. We're trying to find that middle. That's what AT&T's doing. That's what this golden line here is in stock market. You're like, what do you mean? Man, I'm going to show you how to find it. This here is what we just described that you're trying to find in your life. Balance. Oh, I'm trying to be balanced, man. I'm going to go to the gym this much. I'm going to read a book this much. I'm going to scratch a cat this much. I'm going to drink 2.2 beers. I'm going to do 22 push-ups. You're trying to find some kind of balance. I'm going to eat 3 pieces of cake. Fuck it. That's what this line is. It's the balance line. And price can get too far below it, and then it gets pulled back to it. And now this concept I call inside of the money flow, there's a pattern inside of the pattern. And that pattern is sometimes I refer to as from chaos to cash, or the bread and butter, where price gets below the balance. It's out of balance, man. And it gets pulled back. Bam! And it hits that line again. This pattern happens, this fractal pattern, over and over and over and over and over on charts, man. But you have to be looking at it to see it. And you'll see it. And we can go back and run all kinds of stuff. You're going to see it pull under it, and then it gets pulled up to it. Now, here's the thing. If it stays below it long enough, that pressure will just keep pulling this line down. They're coming together. They're going to meet. All stocks that are valuable, that pay dividends, meet this golden line. They all meet it, man. So, and that's price trying to find balance. And often it's kind of fluctuating between true value. Let's look at now what I've found as far as me having any kind of certainty that it's coming back to this 200 in any sort of reasonable time is I've applied it to dividend stocks, because dividend stocks pay money. And shit that pays money only goes so low. There's a bottom. But if it don't pay a dividend, it could go to $1. Baba could go to 10 cents and stay there forever. It can, man. If they can't distribute money to shareholders, if they can't grow, if they can't do whatever, nobody wants it, man. You don't believe me? There's abandoned mansions in America all over. There's abandoned houses everywhere, man. There's abandoned stocks, too. You're like, what do you mean? I meet people all the time abandoning the stocks. I don't look at it. I abandon it. You're like, what do you mean? Portfolio abandoned. Houses abandoned. Marriages abandoned. Gyms abandoned. Dreams abandoned. They abandon it, man. They'll leave it right there on the side of the road. Keep fucking walking. People do that with stocks too, man. Somebody asked about has earnings on Halloween. How are you still buying HBI? I like HBI. Keep all these things in balance, though, man. It's going down. I've got several of these right now doing this, man, that are like, wow. It's hard to believe. This is one. I'm going to stay with it. There's others, right? Wasn't too long ago, this was Ford, man. Look at it now. Trying to break out today. So we saw a lot of stocks pushing up. Let's get back to AT&T and get sidetracked here. Inside of AT&T, we see a lot going on. We saw the stage 4 decline. If you have the money flow, you know what that is. Price closes. Technically, it's price closing below the 20. The 5-day, 10-day, 20-day numerically aligned below it, and price is below it, and everything is just pointing down. And that's what you see here. Everything gets aligned on this side of the green line. It's pretty easy to see, okay? And now, as it does that, couple things in play here. If you have the money flow book, most of the time, the book is talking about when this happens. You're like, what do you mean? It's not talking about this. This is all down. This is stage 4 decline. Okay. Now you'll notice if I'm position trading or if I'm buying holding, I might try to call these here. Right? Is there a particular setup? It's like, yeah, that's it right there. You see it. So as I'm watching the money flow of this, of price, the chaotic move of price will get into one of these stages, and this is the stage 4. Price has gone below the green 20-day moving average. Simple moving average. Simple. That's 1 month of trading. Price is now below the average price of the last month. That's bearish, man. That's a bearish sign. It's going down. Price is moving down. That's what it's telling you. Well, it's going to move so far and stop. And that's what we know, right? So if we're pretty certain that it's moving down, there's no reason to jump in it. If you're a buy and holder, I mean, just watch it. If you're a trader, if you're a short-term trader, you're out of it or you're short it, right? Depends on your point of view. This could be 2 weeks of trading for you as a day trader. You're like, what do you mean? Well, if you look at this, if I'm a day trader and my time frame is slower and I drop this down to a 5-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute, whatever I'm doing, 30-minute, shit, this could be weeks of work in here. This is 2 months of trading, right? That stage 4 decline that you see right there, where price closed below the 20 and just stayed, the 5-day, 10-day, 20-day, all stayed numerically aligned, all pointing down. And along the way, you see what price tries to run up. And sometimes it doesn't get it, man. We see it here. It stopped. And if you know what I call an anchor point, I would have called that. And one of the things I'm looking to confirm that that's the bottom is I look up here to see if the RSI is extreme. And it is. So what I'm showing you there is a stage 1 that failed. It was putting in a stage 1, but look, it's on this side of the green line. So it's not a breakout. And a breakout is clearly defined as what? Price above that green line, price moving up, price breaking out. The breakout by definition is that it was a 1. Now it's above the green line. That makes it a 2. So it's breaking out into a new stage 2 or a breakdown into a new stage 4. And all we got to do is somehow figure out a way to define that. I mean, this is me. I got to figure out a way to define 4 and 2. Well, what is 4 and 2? Fractal pattern, divisible by each other, right? But what's the difference between up and down? I mean, if we turn the screen upside down, I guess this is down and this is up. What if we printed off the chart and flipped it? You're like, well, that wouldn't make any sense. Well, what if we read them backwards? You know, I mean, there's patterns in there, right? And the thing about a pattern is it's not 100%. It's not foolproof. So one of the things that I look for, knowing that I know trying to buy bottoms is tough. I know that. And I know it's only the bottom once it is the bottom. And I know there's people who say, well, you can't buy bottoms. And I say, yeah, you can buy all of them, man. What are you talking about? So you could have bought that one. So work with me here, man. Stay with me here. If you bought that one, and I don't know what we would, but I'm pretty sure we did. And let's say we added a little bit on this one. So we're like trying to buy both bottoms. Now that's a big difference in there. Look in there. That's like $2 or $3, right? So if you're trading, you know, that's a week down. That's a week down. So depending on how tight your trading is, I don't know that you want to hold this. If I'm position trading this, which is the way I do most things, for me, that means don't buy. I just let it come in. And what am I waiting for? Again, the same setup. And then the breakout. And there's the breakout. Now what? Now we've run up. So this one here don't even matter. That one's in the positive. See what? That's position trading, man. So when do I want to abandon this as a position trade? For me, when this here gets overvalued. And so we could go and look and say, okay, what's the true value of AT&T? Do I want to commit a lot of capital to this right now? Does it look like it could go higher? Or why do I own this? Right? So the higher this goes, the more that comes into question. And at some point, it's going to get to a zone where it's like a couple things are going to happen. Either one, it moves too far too fast, which is what we see right now. That RSI hit 70 today and price fucking stopped. Now, look, 6 things we look at when we look at the money flow trading system. What is number 4? RSI, the relative strength index, set to 14 days. This is at the core of the money flow. That green line, the 20-day moving average, and this RSI indicator. Now, I've met people that use the RSI all kind of dirty ways. Perverts, really. They'll put it at 10 days. They'll have a 7-day one and a 14. I met a dude once. He used 3 of them. And as it hit numbers, he executed. He had a 10-day, he had a 7-day one, a 10-day one, and a 9. And as it went higher, triggering, number 1, it would trigger. Well, guess what? He'd take some off. Next one hits, it triggers. Next one hits, it triggers. Well, guess what? He'd do the same when it was on this side. You're like, what do you mean? Meaning he'd add some, he'd add some, he'd add some. And then what? He'd start taking some down. And if it ran, he'd take some down, take some down. See what I'm saying? And now I don't know his exact rhythm to that, but that was the basic concept. And he used the fucking 3 RS. I'd never seen. It was a pretty interesting. It was very partly similar to the money flow. There's another guy out there who has a very similar strategy. I'm not giving his name because he didn't respond to my communications. Support and resistance is always something we look at too, right? And the MACD. So this is the soup, man. I'm trying to look at all of these in a relatively bigger picture, right? But I want to know, man, it's like the purge outside today. I think there might have been, I don't know. Cops are everywhere out today, man. Messing with my concentration. So support and resistance. Let me show you something. You've heard this before. What was support tends to become resistance, okay? I like looking at boxes better. Boxes are created by support and resistance, so not a big deal. Not a big deal. How tight you draw these, I like the boxes better. And let me show you why. I think the boxes better represent price zones. Because look, and it is the same thing, still support and resistance. It's just, I think it's more of a zone than a single spot. Let me show you another example. It's more of a zone. See, those are boxes where price gets consolidated. And a lot of times, and this is what we're talking about today, that RSI plays a part in that being the top and the bottom. You see it there. You see it there at support. So we see it here at resistance. Oh, look, resistance, it worked again. And then we see it here at the bottom. Oh, look, support, it worked again. There's some sort of insidious relationship between RSI and support. Man, look at that. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. And so as we learn these concepts, there's RSI. And look, you see support. Look, that was the bottom. Support is the bottom. Think of a ball. If you drop a ball off a roof, bam, hit support, bounces up. Where does it stop? Resistance. Gravity pushes back down on it, and there's a point between the weight, distance, and the energy it's losing off the bounce. I don't want to get too complicated with science. A lot of weed smokers on here. I try to keep it simple. And as it hits that, think of this RSI as gravity, man. This is universal gravity right here, man. You're like, well, what is it? Don't even worry about it. Just know that when you see it hit high, when you see it hit low, it just turns. like a bow. If you bounce it, it bounces smaller. It does that, man. You'll see it. So it's holding price, man. And look what happens. This extreme, it's starting resistance where it used to be support. Come on, man. Then this is going to start to go sideways. We're going to watch this out in real time, man. We're going to watch it play out in real time. Now, what you do with it is up to you. I don't know what you do with a stage 3 or AT&T. I know what I do. Nothing. Damn sure wouldn't buy it. Anybody buying it today is a dummy. Like, who would be buying this today? You would wait till, like, I don't know who that is. Look, that was day traders or something. They ran it up because the moment it hit that, man, look what happened. Price came down. Whoa. Tagged it. Comes back down. So we knew that would happen. Like, it happens over and over and over and over and over. It's a fractal pattern. Even if it's not done going up right now, you're going to see it pause and stop and start to kind of play. And then it'll spend a week, 2 weeks messing around in here. And then it may rip up, may rip down. Well, look, if we go over and look at the SPY, what do we see? It's trying to push up. Look at it. This is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days above the 20-day moving average. Look at the 5-day. Straight up. Look where it's pointing, Instagram. Look where it is. Look at that. You guys are blessed and highly favored, man. Man, are we even on YouTube? Let's see. Good morning, people on YouTube. I forgot I was even on YouTube. I'm going to be honest. What do you think of Zim? I get asked about this every day. I like Zim. I like Zim here. I got a bunch. I got a big portfolio, man, so I got to rotate shit around. That's what I do every day. I'm thinking. Every day I get up, and for about, I don't know, an hour, I go through all whatever, 117 positions, whatever it is I have. It's ridiculous. I go through them all. I go through buy and holds. I look for dividends coming. I got to scan that. I look, right? If they're, look, AT&T's fixing to drop me a dividend. Man, I don't want no dividend up here. I needed a dividend back here, man. The company should allow you to release it. We need to get that shit on the blockchain. I could have dripped some of it here, some of it here, and some of it here in real time. Why we got to wait 90 days? So imagine when that comes, changing the game, baby, because they'd have gave me a little drip every day. And I'd be like, hey, drip it here. It'd be like points. Like you log in, you'd be like, you got dividend points. It'll be released on this day, but you could take what you have now, like cash back. Cool, man. Can I get a little cash back? I'll take it here because it's a stage 1. I'd rather have it here than up here. You ever even thought about that? I just invented a fintech concept. So that just went over everybody's head, huh? You're still like, damn, what did he say? So that's where we're hitting stage 4. Oh, Gus just took off. Let's see. Thank you, sir. Come on, man. That ain't taking off, man. Are you looking at a 3-minute chart? Let's go to a 5-minute chart. Uh-oh. It's breaking out. See it? It's breaking out on a 5-minute chart. So here's what you do. If I was a day trading guru on YouTube, I'd be like, let me get $10 million of this. And I put a little target right here. And then I wait. And then it hits and I go, look, I mean $30,000 and on live trading on YouTube. That's what you do, man. And we wait and then it'll hit it. Let's see. We'll put it on. We'll just sit there and wait. And when it hits it, we'll speed up the video. So I don't know where you're breaking out. It is on the move, though, man. It is green. I'm just picking on you. It's up 1%, man. I'm in ERX, by the way. I go back and forth between Gush and ERX. ERX is a closer, in my opinion. Look at the RSI on ERX. I'm going to drop another dime on you. Here's ERX. It's the daily bull times 2. It's leveraged. Leveraged, meaning 50 cents buys you $1, but it buys you $1 down, too. It's leveraged to the downside, okay? But I like to play leveraged, man. I like to be leveraged. So look at the RSI on this ERX leverage play. Now look at the XLE. So it was 66, right? Let's see if it's in lockstep. Look, XLE 67. So it's leveraged and it's in lockstep. I like that. That means I can look at this one and I can put my money down on a double play. So another one I like is UTSL. This is the utility one, man. See what's happening? So I'm starting to load this bad boy up. See this? Tried it over here. Wasn't to be. We had the RSI and we got the RSI. I'm not day trading this one. I'm position trading it. I mean, this going higher, man. This is an ETF for utilities. So much like AT&T, I might catch that one. I might catch this one. Then maybe we go a little side, we start to run, and then we come back down, and I give it again. And then when we finally rip, right? When we finally rip, like we're seeing on, where's it at, man? Come on, man. When we finally rip, like we're seeing happened here on AT&T, then what? This one won't matter, man. That one won't matter. We're going to be up. Then we start taking it down. And if it runs, it runs. And all that could take months. It's a beautiful thing, man. Let's see. Anyway, man, the 4 stages of price movement. I'm just reading comments here. I only got one screen, so bear with me. I was saying on Instagram this morning, for me to go live, I got to get sound and video to work on 3 platforms. I got to create a thumbnail. Then I can go live. Okay? But prior to going live, I got to look at all these charts, man. I watch about 200. I don't get to all 200 every day. I don't want to say I do. Some I may get locked up on. I might spend an hour on this chart. And you're like, what do you mean an hour? Like, I just keep coming back to it, man. Like, I'll start watching this. I'm just watching it. I'm watching it. I might buy a share. Well, about an hour later, buy a share. Now, I can't text it like that. It costs me money to notify you. So when I send out text, because I send out text through the Money Flow Trading Society, whenever I make a move in my buy and hold or trades, I send a little alert. Hey, I'm doing this. And I give everyone a head start. Not that I can move anything. Or they could just be like, I wonder why he's doing that. Because maybe I own AT&T, you own Verizon. Or maybe you own Coke, I own Pepsi. Maybe GM. The reason I have so many stocks is some of them are the same. And you're like, what do you mean? I own Exxon, Chevron, and Conoco, right? And Fang, and SLB. Like, I own these. And I've owned Exxon like 15 years, right? So in the next oil thing, I picked up Conoco, and then I gained a few years in life, and then I picked up Chevron. I wasn't trying to buy them all in the same day in the same week. Well, that you play that out, and you got Pepsi and McDonald's and Starbucks and McDonald's and Starbucks, and then you just start picking up new ones, man. In the world of dividends, same in growth stocks or anything else. So this is one that I'm watching a lot. So I may spend time on this chart during the day, just watching it. And then as I'm watching it, when you say, what do you mean spend time? Well, let's go look at Southern. Southern's one of the largest positions in this ETF. Well, the UTSL is just a 2 times of the XLU. And I know it's in the XLU. So part of being stuck on this chart is I go look up the XLU. And I look at the top 10 holdings inside of the ETF. And so part of me looking at that chart is then going and saying, is Southern look the same? What about Duke? Does Duke look the same? It does. Well, I own Southern and I own Duke. Well, which one do I own the most of? And then I go look. And then I look up at the ratings or the true value on the companies. Are they fairly valued? Are they overvalued? Could they go higher? Could they go lower? So you get hung up on that chart, man. And if I'm going through this thing every day, and I can't put my attention on everything every day, right? So I may pick up some, let's say Zim. I may not come back to it for a month, 2 months, 3 months. It just depends. Meaning, in the meantime, there's, 100 whatever others. So that all of a sudden I may be like, all right, cool. I got some exposure there, but I'm really excited about this because I want some more utility to balance out. Remember that balance? You're trying to balance life. You're trying to balance your portfolio, trying to balance your money, your checkbook, relationships. This too, man. You're trying to balance it, man. And so I get hung up on this. So now I'm looking at Southern, Duke, what else? Edison. We could go look there. Oh. See the difference? You even looking? Look. Why is this happening? So as we break down this ETF, what are we seeing? Oh, shit. Someone might be breaking out. Is it possible that some of the stocks that make up the ETF break out first before the ETF? Why? There's leaders. And they pull the rest of the sector with it, man. So when oil stocks break out, then it's not all instantaneous. You'll be looking around and all of a sudden, there goes Exxon. You're like, what? Where the hell's that going? Next day, Conoco takes off, Chevron, couple others. Exxon rips again. And that's how you have it, man. So does that mean it's going up? No, but look, you got a couple in the sector that are pushing above. And I bet if we broke down all 10 and we went through the top 10, you're going to see a few more breaking out. So a play, I don't know, could be the XLU. I'm doing the triple. Big balls, leveraged, triple. You might need to get permission. Be like, hey, baby, looks like Gerald's going triple long on utility stocks. Next time you're at a party, say that. They'll think you're cool. Go, hey, you're at the bar. I got a triple long leverage play on utility stocks. What about you? I would think you're cool. I don't think anybody else will. Verizon. Okay. Let's see. Verizon. That's a shit show there, huh? It's a buy, man. Now, probably a bottom. Here, there's some big shit going on here, man. I don't know. Now, notice this stage one over here. And then price breaks it. On this one, price breaks it, but it came back. You see that? And I'm going up the chart, looking at things that I might have thought were a stage one. This right here could have been a stage one. And then what? It breaks it. And it doesn't come back in. Doesn't come back in. Now this one's different. We need a third. It needs to hold this for a minute, man. It's building a box, though. So you see how these didn't? And it just went down and then down. This one's different because it came back. And now we can say it looks like it wants to go sideways. And so as I'm looking at this, okay, I'm like, stage 4 decline, attempted to rally, failed, attempted to rally, failed. We believe we have an anchor point, which is the lowest low of this down move. And now we're getting that sideways motion on Verizon. So if we're watching these charts close, that is a better signal than this one and this one. Just because of the comeback nature of it. Now, is that foolproof? No. It's just been a lot of times in my experience, what we call back in the box just confirms that there's money that when it tried to come in, they brought it back. Now, I look for those. It doesn't mean you're always going to have money, but if you get in the habit of spotting them, and we got the SPY Look at the SPY. It's getting greener. Dirty bastard. Look at it getting greener. So the SPY is going to run, or wants to, I assume, to 409, which if you notice is coinciding with the previous high there. And I'm pretty certain we get anywhere near there, the RSI is extreme. Okay, so we're looking for a move up into here. From a technical perspective, I expect the S&P 500 to drift higher and to go into there. It could do that and then go sideways and go back down, and the long-term thesis of a bear market continues. Draw that line. Notice where they intersect. Come on, man. Man, the Illuminati's going to kill me, bro. All right. You ever hear about when the planets align? What if all known profit targets align? It's like an eclipse. It's a solar eclipse. You see it? He says, can you please look at Apple? I could, sir. I wish you would buy my new glue-bound copy of the Money Flow. That's what I wish, sir. I'm going to fulfill your wish, though. Let's see. We're going to look at Apple. When you get home from work tonight, you tell your wife, you say, baby, I know I said we weren't buying anything, but I have to buy this new eBook. Not eBook. What the hell am I talking about? Hard copy book that Gerald did. Don't worry if you get in trouble. She'll get over it. Just do it. And when she says something, just raise your hand back. Be like, what? Gerald said you might react this way. All right. I'm kidding, man. Calm down. She approves. Look at Tesla's. I told him. Told everybody, watch Tesla today. If it was, as someone pointed out on Friday, it stopped on my birthday, man. That was the numbers. And I said, maybe that's a sign. And then we woke up. Today it was down. And I said, watch it. If it gets back into box, I'd be buying some options. In my trading days, if I was out there crazy like you guys, I'd be buying options on that. Or I'd get long. Is he here?
No, but I don't know. But I need a code.
You can open that door now.
Okay.
Code? Oh.
Code.
I can't right now. Give me just a second.
All right.
Well, let me see what phone I'm on. No, I can't right now.
Okay, that's fine.
We're almost done anyway. We got Apple breaking. Well, dude, you know what Apple is. Apple's a stage 2. Where is it above? Look at price above. Sorry, this place we stay here is super small. Yeah, get them. I think you'll like them, man. Maybe I'm guilty. I don't know, man. I own like 7 copies of Grant Cardone's 10X. That's a great book if you don't own it. I don't know. I got I don't know how many copies of the Money Flow. But get this one. I think you'll like it. Scribble in it. Shit, there's books I buy every year. Dude, there's courses I take every year. It's the same damn course, just different dude. It's the same dude doing it. He just does it, a new one every year. Same shit. I do them all. I like the guy. It's fun. You got to spend money on entertainment, man. So make some of that entertainment stocks. Just don't get stupid, man. Don't be in there buying no $20,000 secret Illuminati coin you spin it on a chart and it tells you where it's going. One time, I'm in with this and tell you a story how obsessed I was with the stock market. I was convinced about fractal patterns like you see right here. I couldn't see this one then. Look, 1, 3, 1. Now we're in a stage 2, right? I can see this clear as day right now. And so then I turn and look, where's the S&P? Stage 2. All systems go. Stage 2 breakout. So now I'm trading the breakout. So we want to be good and long Apple. And if we were trading it, we should have already been in it. That was your day right over there. So you should be up. First target, I don't know if we're short-term trading, right around, well, what am I doing, man? Take that down, man. Right around in there. and it pays a dividend. This is a no-brainer chaos to cash trade or bread and butter trade. Jesus, man, look at this. So, yeah, Apple looks great. If we get a sustained rally, obviously you could get back into the 172. It's not going to 172 if the S&P 500 comes down. The wind leads, blows on all ships, okay? Just the way it is. You just need to come up with a plan for that now. I lost my train of thought, man. They're out here talking outside my door, talking business, fucking me up. They're talking about houses. My wife's out there talking to this contractor. Caught my ear. I hope everybody's doing well, man. I won't hold you this morning. Morningstar has 130 on Apple. What? No. Does it really? I haven't looked at Apple's. Be honest, this is one of those stocks I don't even look anymore, dude. Like, what is the valuation? This is just a gigantic index fund right now. We need the code, Gerald. I was going to tell you the crazy shit I bought. So this is pre-internet. I write to a guy, I get his book. He's got a secret formula to the stock market. And you take tracing paper and you lay it over these charts. And the tracing paper, and you trace this, and you trace it. And you trace it. And you go back and you find your anchor points. Right? Find your anchor points. And we're assuming this is an anchor point now, right? And right now, this is the anchor point. So even if price turns, that still would be the high, right? So you would trace this. And then you flip it upside down. And you connect it to this chart. And that's where stocks are going. I paid like $800 for that course. What was crazy, though, I'm going to be honest, what was weird, funny about it, today is funny about it, it works sometimes. And I think that's just the randomness of the markets, man, just the random nature of the fractal patterns, that there is price patterns. There is seasons to the market. You know, there's seasons where people are more into, during Christmas, there's less people working, there's less volume, there's less buying, right? So there are seasonal things that affect stocks, seasonal things that affect, corn and eggs and pigs and orange juice and all that shit. There's seasonal things. There's all these patterns inside of nature, and sometimes they play out, perfectly in the market. Not, I don't know about all those. There's too many of them for me to keep up with, but I can keep up with this one, the money flow. That's what you see here on Apple, man. Good one. These are easy trades, by the way. Trading Apple? Come on. We got a swing trade going right now on Amazon. Like, even if you get stuck in this, oh well. What direction you think I'm trying to trade this? To the upside, baby. So here's our breakout. And here's where we bought. Now, why am I buying there? Because I'm watching. And look at this support zone we came into. And on the money, that thing bounced off it. And when we got back above the 5, what happened? TSI crossed over right out of the money flow book. MACD crossed right out of the money flow book. Stochastics came out, right? We got us a potential run. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's what it looks like when it does. So when it did this run, that's what it looked like. And so we're waiting for what? A run. And then it could still ultimately come down. Maybe we only run up to 133. Good. I'm swing trading it in my swing trade account. So that's the play, man. Anyway, I trade a lot. I got a lot of position trades going. I spend an hour at minimum every day looking at my portfolio, looking at my trades, looking at my money, looking at my dividends, looking at the sectors, looking at the individual stocks that I own within those 11 sectors of the S&P. Which one do I have the most money in? Which one do I have the least money in? Where am I at in relation to Christmas? Where am I at in relation to New Year's? Where are we at in relation to summertime? Where are we at seasonally? What's going on with oil? Where are bonds? Where are REITs? Where are interest rates? What is the best use for my money right now over the rest of my life? Meaning it's not today, but in my trading account, which is why you want to get your trades out of your buy and hold, because you can't think straight when you're taking trades in there. You're all messed up in the head. So when you log into that account, you should have a 20-year perspective, at least 10 years, or just stop, dude. Like, you're not going to build any wealth in stocks in under 10 years. It's not going to happen. You could trade. That's why you want to get those trades out of that buy and hold. So when we get to our trading account, let's trade that shit. You ain't hung up on dividends. You ain't hung up on, you know what I mean? Like, we're trading here, right? So we don't get hung up in these other things. So when we log into these individual accounts, let's put on that mindset, man, right? Let's put on that mindset, man. Don't be the guy that's at work, he's on vacation. When he gets on vacation, he's thinking about work. Don't be that guy. Be on vacation when you're on vacation. Be at work when you're at work, man. That's the best way to live. Live in the now. Just do what I do. Just work all the time. All right, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in today, man. I forgot I had that going. I had a song in the background.